Here on the Uncle Nasty Show, we realize there's been a lot of changes in our country over the last month or so, and not everybody is excited about it. Some people feel that their voices are being shut and they're not allowed to express themselves. So here on the Uncle Nasty Show, Matt Need and I came up with the idea of hashtag not PC. This will give you, the Uncle Nasty viewer, the opportunity to say what you really want to say and say it how you really feel it with anonymity.
I find Caitlyn Jenner unattractive.
World Viral.
Hey, we're back. Took 2 weeks off, gloating on G-Man's prediction. We're going to talk to G a little later. He's going to be on the show. How about that, huh? We both sat here and said Peyton Manning would be back.
Do we have to look that way if we want to be on the show?
Oh, Jake Johannsen's with us here as well. Don't forget, we're going to give you a big fat intro.
It's not clear where you're supposed to look at what exactly is happening.
I get it now. I see what's happening.
So, you know what? Just look at Matt and Chris will control
This is my shot. Is the back of my head like the Kennedy
shot? That is the best ear you've got.
That's how we're going to be watching me on the show. It feels like I'm getting cheated a little bit.
Jake is going beyond being a friend today. I thought we were pretty decent acquaintances. He's always been on the show. He was like my first, you're always on people's show, whenever they start a show, you're the first guy. And here you are.
What do you mean the first guy?
You're our first comic. You're like,
Oh, well, that's exciting to be the first. I'm the first comic on this show?
On this show.
Absolutely.
On the Uncle Nasty Show when we were terrestrial radio, you were the first comic on the show.
Is that right?
Yeah. Weren't you like Letterman's first comic or something like that, too?
No,
like that first week or something?
That's not true.
Now, you recently wrapped things up, though. Last year, you got to perform for him one last time.
I wrapped up the Letterman show. Yeah, that was me. I got to go on the last time. I was on it
one
last year.
time. It was like the last month or whatever, or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, the last, I think it was on within the last 60 days or so.
Something like that. I saw you on
Look,
Facebook.
You can't win them all.
Saying how much he has influenced you and given you opportunities and how much you loved him. And
a lot. Now, it's just paved the way for this.
There you
are.
We wouldn't have you on had you not been on Letterman.
No, I can tell. There's the security to get in this basement. You have to go past a lot of things that you don't think you should go past to get in here.
There's a reason we didn't tell you exactly where we were headed when we brought you in.
I think you mentioned it by name, but I wasn't familiar with the area, so I didn't really know what you were saying.
What did you think when you were at the top of the stairs and Matt said, "It's down there"?
I thought I was going to fall down when I just walked by the bathroom, and then when we had to actually go downstairs, when we were in the bar, I thought, well, so this is where we're going to do it. It's going to be in the bar. It's not in the bar. It's down in the basement.
The basement of the bar.
Which is a whole nother place. I mean, the people in the bar upstairs, they don't realize. This is like a Quentin Tarantino movie. Is this a vampire hangout?
Pretty much.
Because it's
It used to
daytime,
be
they're
Middle Earth,
sleeping
but
now?
that's no longer popular. Bring them on. Bring them on.
Where do you do your podcast, Jake, this from?
I have a little tiny room in my house. It's pathetic. You
have posters and stuff up?
It's fantastic.
Black
I got
light?
posters and all kinds of junk that my wife won't let me bring in the regular house. It's like this. It's like this.
Cool.
I'm not going to lie to you, but this is my place. This place seems sort of like you're in someone's den, but then also it's several other people it's their den too. It's like a timeshare.
You feel kind of sleazy sitting there?
Well, I woke up this morning at the condo for the club. Do we plug our show?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Comedy Works South at the Landmark, folks. Jake Johannsen this weekend. Are you opening up for Gabriel?
What?
Didn't I see Gabriel Iglesias?
He's not there. No, it's just me.
Okay, good.
It's just me. But we should be spreading the rumor that he's there because he has a bigger following.
There's a few tickets available.
If you like him, you might like me. I don't do any of his jokes or anything, but we're both a good time.
He's lost a lot of weight, so it would be understandable to see how I confuse the two of you.
I've lost a little bit of weight since the last time. I think I've lost 22 pounds. He's probably lost 100 or something.
You're looking Hispanic, too, now. I noticed that. You're a little swarthier than usual.
Well, if we're going to really stop letting illegal immigrants in, then somebody's got to look Hispanic.
So God bless you for stepping up.
Yeah, if it's me, then I'll do it. I'm trying. I'm just trying. I want to be a part of it.
So you woke up at the condo, and you're staying at the Landmark.
Yeah, I'm staying at the Landmark. Let's not give away.
What room?
There's a security system. You can't get in there. But I woke up with a lot of little red itchy bites on my thighs and
I thought you were married, man.
Back. No, I think that's something. I think whoever was in the condo last week. brought,
You got bed
brought some
bugs?
tiny visitors.
Creepy
I don't know, probably not.
crawlers.
But I'll put whatever I got up against whatever this chair's got. That's what I'm saying.
Fighting right now. Battle's
where this-
going on in Jake's pants.
We'll see who wins. It's usually me. Spoiler alert, it's usually me. I usually win the battle in my pants.
You always end up finishing the job.
Well, usually it's a version of me versus me, so that's how I'm able to win. That's how I'm able to maintain my record.
So I want to just reflect for just a little bit longer on the Letterman
Okay,
appearance,
let's
you know,
reflect.
because I know that that had a lot to do with your career. So what was it like there, that last performance on the show?
Well, it was just like it was like a great, you know, I'd been on there a lot of times, so this was like a really good time on the show.
Was the
Everybody
catering
excited.
better?
I was excited. No, it was just the best version of that experience that I've had. You know, I mean, but not 10 times better. It was just you know,
Just
out of
better.
the 46 times, that was
You were elated to be
top
there,
time.
that you were on his list of people for the final
well,
year.
that's all flattering and stuff. I still hasn't set into me that I'm not going to go there next month. This would be the time of year when I would go. So it's just been a year has rolled around. Although I did it that second time, so I was on in the fall. But this is the time of year when I would usually go on. So I don't
Right.
know. It's probably going to be a couple years before I realize that they've taken that show off the air.
What am I
I mean, I know
supposed
that
to
we're
do?
talking about it, and I understand it. Well, we're doing it. We're doing it. This is what we're supposed to
You're
do.
gonna replace Letterman with the Uncle Nasty show.
I'm no life
appreciate
coach, but I have always kind of, they say you have to believe it before you can achieve it, and I have believed this basement for a long time.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. Jake Johannsen is with us. He is at Comedy Works this weekend as he thrashes the set.
I think that's an important-
720-274-6800. That's 720-274-6800. Jake Johannsen, you okay? Do you need a medic?
I'm okay, but there's things plugged into that and blinking lights. I'm worried that I did something really wrong.
Are you smoking weed?
No, I'm not.
We're going to talk about. I saw some activity on your Twitter feed. You're going back
There's
and forth
people
with
who are
somebody.
advising. I'm being counseled about weed
All
smoking.
right, we'll come back and talk about that next. Here, it's WorldViral.tv, the Uncle Nasty Show.
I feel like we need a camera.
If you're getting high in Colorado today, enjoy it.
Around me without like.
Colorado Harvest Company.
Colorado Harvest Company. Colorado Harvest Company. Colorado Harvest Company. Colorado Harvest Company.
World Viral.
Hey, it's Pat Searcy down here at National Speaker and Sound on South Broadway. Come down and see us. We're now carrying Charvel, EVH gear, along with Mesa Boogie, Paul Reed Smith, Nash guitars. Come check us out. Mention World Viral. Get 10% off.
Hello, everyone. This program was brought to you by National Speaker and Sound, Colorado's leading provider of pro audio music equipment. Right across the street from Herman's Hideaway at 1559 South Broadway.
National speaker where the pros shop.
Can you play guitar? Can you shred with the best? National Speaker and Sound wants you to show them what you've got to win a $1,000 Paul Reed Smith electric guitar and a $1,000 Vox amp. Stop by National Speaker and Sound showroom and register for their solo guitar competition. It's free, there's no age limit, and the final will be judged by a celebrity guitarist. The fun starts Saturday, January 9th from 11 to 3 p.m. And if you're looking at new gear, everything is on sale at National Speaker and Sound. They'll even beat Guitar Center's prices. National Speaker and Sound, 1559 South Broadway, where the pros shop.
What's up, everybody? It's Tom Maxwell from Hell Yeah, and you're watching World Viral TV, brought to you by Colorado Harvest Company. Get you some.
World Viral. Colorado Harvest Company.
I don't want anybody else. When I think about you, I grab myself.
Oh, I don't want anybody else.
When I think about you, I touch myself.
Oh, I don't want anybody else.
I touch myself. Be proud. Americans, unite if you touch yourselves. Hold hands. Well, don't hold hands. No, that's disgusting. Touch yourself in private.
World Viral.
We're back.
Now we're back.
WorldViral.tv, the
We're
Uncle
still
Nasty Show. Jake Johannsen's with us. He is at the Comedy Works landmark, 720-274-6800. That's 720-274-6800. So if you go to your website, you've got your Twitter feed up in the bottom
I
left
have a
corner.
Twitter.
there.
Yeah, the @JakeThis. You can do that. I figured out how to put my
Yeah,
Twitter
that's pretty
feed on my
cool. And you've
website.
been having
Yeah.
conversations with some locals, I saw.
I do. Well, someone tweeted me. I said, I'm in Denver, now what? And so there was something about pot. You know, I think that's the thing that you can do while you're here.
Not the marijuana.
It's obvious that's what you can do that while you're here
Oh, my
because
goodness. Yes,
your
we give
ad, your
we give
sponsor is
them
the-
an opportunity to spend their money.
I feel a little bit like, and I don't want to undermine your business plan, but if you're selling pot, traditionally that's not a thing that you need to advertise. I mean, that's a thing.
Well, there's so many
a lot of people were
doing it
selling
in this
pot, just
town.
like a guy
Right.
wearing a hoodie with zero logos, and he could run a business.
Legalization
That guy
ruined,
could support his family.
Legalization ruined all that marketing for that guy.
Now
He's
you got to
done.
have a logo of your pot store.
Yeah.
How could
You don't
how
need a
could
hoodie
one
anymore.
place's pot be better than another place's pot?
Hey, Jake, your camera that we're going to be installing will be paid for by that company.
Right, I get it. So they've got the best pot. As we all remember,
That's it. If
from
Jake
high school.
smoked pot, he would smoke that pot.
Have you gone to dispensaries here?
I went to a dispensary. I think the last time. I don't think there's a dispensary yet in Greenwood Village, because.
So you think?
Yeah. Well.
They've still got the guy though. There's still a guy in Greenwood Village.
I think they still.
in a
It's still
hoodie.
old school. You go down to
We
the parking
deliver.
garage. There's a guy in there. I went to a dispensary the last time I was downtown, so that'll be a little more than a year ago, and I was surprised that you still have to give them your ID, and then they ask if you medical or are you recreational.
Right, there's a
And
difference.
then you go to a separate room.
Context and amount.
And there's two
And
prices.
tax,
And there's
so,
two prices.
right.
Yeah, there's two
Yeah.
prices, and they can't at the recreational one. They don't tell you like, this is if you want. Do you like My Little Pony or do you like Ozzy Osbourne? They don't ask you those kind of questions at the recreational one, which I feel like they should.
You should speak up, though. You know, hey, I'm not from here. I'm kind
I'm
of a
more of a
lightweight.
My Little Pony guy.
Yeah.
I like Sheryl Crow, but I can bang out. I can do it if I have to. I don't want to wind up in a basement full of guys that look like the devil, though. That's not what I want. And I bet that's
Turns
up
out
next
there's-
after
it's
this
the
show. I
show,
think.
yep, next up.
Yeah, the devil guys are waiting up.
Satan's in makeup right now. Satan's in makeup.
They're taking a leak and baby wiping themselves before they come down.
Tell Nasty to move it along. Beelzebub's
You're going to want to
getting
baby
hot.
wipe as we leave. You're going to baby wipe the red spots.
Yeah, I got a pre-show ritual.
What is
Denver. Well, anyway, so I went to the. We can talk about it I feel like we're all over the place here. So I went to the weed place, and then I got in there, and I did buy something.
What?
But I think it was some kind of chocolate edible
Edible
because
thing.
I said I want to get something that will help me go to sleep. But then I got paranoid. So I tried it while I was here, but I got paranoid about putting it in my suitcase to take home because I thought, well, this is not.
You get in trouble.
Yeah, you can't get in trouble. Right.
Yeah.
With people
That's
who
the
drugs are
problem.
illegal.
Exactly.
In California. I mean, unless you're medical, but I didn't want to get certified because I didn't want to be on the list. But then when you come here, you got to get on the list anyway. You got to give them your driver's license when you go in there.
Well, you got to prove you're from here, because if you're not from here, then you can't buy as much.
There's another quantity and
Oh,
price
really?
situation
Right.
that goes on there.
So
You
if
still need the guy in the hoodie to go in and buy stuff for you.
You know,
I didn't bump up against you're buying too much stuff.
And I like how he attaches, something that he's having difficult doing, like sleeping. I'm having problems sleeping. I'm not in here to enjoy any of this. I don't want to,
I mean, I don't mind having a good time right before I go to sleep, but I just feel like
psychoactive benefits of the drug. I just need to sleep.
Well, I'm not done with the booze. I still can have a drink and have a good time. I don't feel like I'm
you don't
ready
want
to
mix the two.
Well, you don't want to mix the two. I feel
it's
like
kind of
that's
on the
a
way
bad
out,
recipe.
right? That's where I'm at. I stopped drinking. That's all I have is a couple pieces of chocolate. That's all I have left and coffee.
Is that what you're down to? Chocolate and coffee? I'm kind of jealous of you because, boy, the other stuff, it kind of takes it out of you. You got to put a little. I wouldn't even necessarily call it exactly a hangover, but it's a hangover. It's like there's an afterburn. That you wonder, like, was that? I don't know. How much fun did I have again? Can I look at the Polaroids? Could you show me the photos?
Go to my Instagram account and see what I posted last night.
Yeah, no, you don't post things once you
hit the
when the loving starts.
That over
the cameras.
That
away.
over 50 league, you got to take it easy, man. You can't just keep playing every night. You got to have huge gaps between when you hit the ice and when you don't.
You got to recharge. Hit the ice. What do you mean by hitting the ice? That sounds like some crystal meth reference.
He plays
right?
hockey.
Yeah.
So over 50 league. Yeah.
Well, that's insane. The idea that you would still be playing hockey is just ridiculous.
Why? You want to talk about the over 50 league? It's the same with drinking. We're in the over 50 league
still
for
drinking
drinks
every night, Jake.
Yeah, it is. No, I get it. Well, I'm not drinking every night, but yeah, it is ridiculous. I feel like hockey, though, you can get hurt drinking, can't you? You're right. Good point. That's a solid point.
According to the pictures.
That is a solid point. So we're driving over here. Matt picks me up in his deluxe ride.
When you called me yesterday, Matt said, I got Jake. I said, Johannsen? He said, yeah. He said he'd be more than happy to do it. I was like, really? Did you tell him where it was? He goes,
that's
yeah.
because we're following each other on Twitter, so you can give me a direct message.
He responds right away.
I think I was only following your show, and that's probably controlled by the man. So some other douche can send me messages. I mean, not that you're a douche, but there's some douche.
Totally different douche.
A different category. So he's just sent me a message that said, hey, do you want to come do the Nasty Podcast? And I didn't realize that, to be honest with myself, I would have come even if I had known exactly what it was. But I didn't know what it was. I thought, yeah, I know that guy, and I want to go on that podcast. This is always a fun time. So I said I would do it. His car, he's got the crank windows.
Yeah.
There's no...
The Subi? Did you bring this?
No, I don't have the Subi anymore.
It's a Ford Magic
It's a Ford
wagon.
Escort.
Is it an
LX,
Escort?
That's an LX wagon. That says LX right on the back.
I don't know if
it.
they still make an Escort wagon.
Nothing but the best.
No, it's that.
Nothing but the best for
that
you,
is
my man.
solid P. Diddy.
Most of them, they've taken
party.
the engines out and they just you can pull it and with the kids in it and you just take it around the neighborhood.
But this thing,
don't worry, Mr. Johannsen. We'll send the world viral limo.
It's got the crank windows, which I tried to get in my last car because I get so mad at when the motor thing goes out and they're like, it's $500 to fix the window. It's like it's a crank. I can't.
Right.
I don't have to fix my arm. And he's also got a cassette player with the thing, the adapter thing that looks like a cassette tape, and then it's got a wire hanging out.
For his MP3 player.
Yeah, super nice. Well, when I bought that, it was to play CDs. I had a portable CD player that I was plugging in the cassette adapter to play. Yeah, so I could relate. It was really a trip down memory lane.
That's what I was going to say, huh?
And all the smells from 2015 are still in there. In Matt's car.
I wondered about that as I was pulling up.
No, I didn't smell it.
No, because it's a strange, when you never, once you stay at Grandma's house for a couple hours, it doesn't smell like Grandma's house anymore. But when you first get in, when you first open the door, you think, there's Grandma's house. And I thought there's got to be a similar, there's the hoopty smell.
I didn't know how to break it to my wife the other day. She's sitting having breakfast, and I lean over to give her a little kiss on the top of the head, and I smelled her hair. And I said, it smells like my grandfather. Your hair smells like my grandfather and some kind of candle. And like a grandfather candle. It wasn't, she didn't take it too hard.
What does that smell like?
I don't know. Well, he just, you know how we all have
Old
a certain,
Spice?
we also have a certain smell. Well, it wasn't even a cologne smell. It was just
it's just the
smell.
Like your death?
No, but like what your dog
long,
smells like. It's a person has a smell that's not my grandfather didn't smell like a dog, but he smelled like he had a distinctive smell, like when you smell him, that was how
like a dog may have. I understand.
Like all your clothes, if you just kept wearing and washing your clothes forever and they stopped smelling like the detergent, because now they have more, they've spent less time in the washing machine than they have on your body. I mean, they really, like, he had a smell and he put it into his, and my wife, her head smells like that now.
How did that happen?
I don't know. I hate to think that I subconsciously chose that on purpose. That's
your grandfather?
That's the real rabbit hole that you don't want to go down. That like I wanted to have sex with my grandpa.
Take your top off. That smells turning me on.
One of those things that came out of your mouth before you could stop it. Your hair smells like my grandfather. Oh, wait, I meant your hair smells
sort
great.
of like
what a lovely floral scent.
I couldn't believe that that's what it smelled like. And then she said, "How's that smell?" And then I answered it.
Jake Johannsen is at Comedy Works Landmark. Tickets are still available. You can catch him. You're doing tonight, tomorrow, and Saturday.
It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and that's January 7th, 8th, and 9th of 2016. Because I know some people might be watching this. It could be hundreds of years in the future.
Oh, yeah. It's true.
And they don't know.
Oh, yeah, on the equivalent of the little cassette thing with the wire that comes out.
Yes. Yeah.
Because the formats will have all changed again, and you'll need an adapter to watch this.
Yeah, and I'm on whatever kind of eye drops that you put in your eyes to watch comedy specials now. I'm releasing my specials that way. Yeah, so you can get it.
720-274-6800. That's 720-274-6800. Thank you so much for coming and doing the show,
Is
Jake.
it over?
Huh? Well, you want to hang out? We thought you'd be a
What
big star
happens
like
now?
you. Oh, we got Kyle Kruger from Here I Go Again, which is an independent documentary about a guy who went back and is reliving his dream or finishing his dream of being a rock star.
That's what I'm doing. I'm living my dream in this basement.
You're welcome to stay.
Well, no, I don't want to hoard in on somebody else's thing, but here I wanted to. So we're driving over in the car, and I reach up, and I feel like I've got a hair or something in my mouth, and I grab it. It's inside my mouth, and I pull, and it's attached to the very inside of my cheek. It's like, you know, when you have a chapped lip skin and you pull it and it comes off, but this was on the inside of my mouth.
It had bonded. The hair had
no,
glued
it
itself?
wasn't the hair. Like
Chapped
some dried
lip skin.
skin on the just inside of my mouth. Tore off. It's
Skin
a tag.
Skin tag.
Oh, jeez. Anyway,
So
that's
did
what's
it- does
happening to me,
it-
punk
is
rock
it
in this
still
basement.
bleeding?
I'm
Far
peeling.
out.
It feels like it might
Like
be
just
bleeding,
now
but not
still bleeding?
not inside your mouth. It's when you
You're
cut
swallowing
yourself,
your own
when you
blood.
cut yourself, you kind of lick it to it
Right.
has healing. We all have that same dog power that dogs have to help you heal. So inside your mouth, that's going to heal right up. I hope. But between that and those
Did
bug
it taste like
bites-
your grandfather? That's the question. When I tore it open.
It's not going to go there.
I never
It
tasted
was
him.
sitting there on the stove, just steaming.
And now it's too late.
Man had to go stir the pot.
I'm just checking. Just checking. I've had to.
Still want to hang
Usually,
out.
Well, what do I? How do I get back to the place? I have to hang out, don't I?
I was planning on taking you back.
All right, let's take a
so
break.
all right,
Jake
we're going
will
to take
either
it while
be
we
here
work
or
this
he
out.
won't, all right?
And my
But we're
apologies
talking to
for
Kyle
derailing
Kruger.
your show.
When we come back.
There was a big win.
Tim Winger here for our client Roof Rehab. If you are looking for commercial or industrial roofing, look no further than Roof Rehab. They can satisfy all of your repair and installation needs. Roof Rehab has been satisfying customers with challenging roofing issues for over 20 years in Colorado's Front Range region. From rehabbing persistent damaged leaks to complete new roofing systems, Roof Rehab can handle any job, commercial or residential. Roof Rehab will please you with reliability, dependability, and the best cost-effective results. From flat roofing systems to metal roofing repair and complete roof replacements and installation, Roof Rehab is your go-to source for commercial and industrial roofing. Visit roofrehabonline.com for more information and check out a comprehensive list of what they can do for you. Call them at 720-436-2886. That's 720-436-2886. Is your roof out of control? Does it need an intervention? If so, it's time for Roof Rehab.
Motherfucking Roof Rehab.
World Viral.
Hey, it's Gina, Best Denver Psychic. Check it out, worldviral.tv, Saturdays at 2 o'clock. Every Saturday on worldviral.tv. Gina covers love, she covers finance, she covers romance.
Be there. We're going to hook a brother up.
worldviral.tv.
World Viral.
over here. I heard somebody scream, so.
Oh, it was me.
Was it?
Hi, I'm on my rag.
Oh, bitch, get out the way. Get out the way, bitch, get out the way.
Here's an idea. Let's take a well-known local music editor, stick him in a room with a couple hot chicks, Chad Drew,
the quintessential stoner,
and then we'll force him to watch some videos of an uncensored, cracked-out motel shit show from next door. Sound awesome?
I like it.
Tune into Music Buzz Live Radio Wednesdays, 6 to 8 p.m. right here on World Viral TV.
World Viral.
Motel Minute.
Motel Minute.
Hi, Mom, I love you.
World Viral.
We want to take advantage of this area as the highest concentration of cannabis centers anywhere in the world. If you're looking for cannabis in Colorado, you should come to the Green Mile.
Colorado Harvest Company.
What's going on over here? I heard somebody scream, so.
Oh, it was me.
Was it?
Hi, I'm on my rag.
Oh, bitch, get out the way. Get out the way, bitch, get out the way.
Hey, we're back and welcome to it. It's the Uncle Nasty Show on WorldViral.tv. I'm still working with all the technology here.
You and me both. More duct tape. More duct tape.
All right, we've got Kyle Kruger back on the show, and this time he brought another producer of the great documentary we're looking forward to seeing, Here I Go Again. Mike Dion is with us as well. Mike, thanks for coming down, and we're getting a different perspective. Some may say, wow, you've got Kyle back on only after 2 weeks of being off. But, you know, we got a lot of money sunk into Kyle's movie. No, not really. No, just Kyle's a great guy. We want to see his movie do well here in the Denver metro area. So I want to remind everybody that you can catch it at the Harkins Theaters Northfield 18. That is coming up on the 13th of this month. That's just basically a week away. 6:30. You can go to Here I Go Again on Facebook for more information, and you can sign up to get notifications. Let everybody know what's going on with the movie. Real quick, let's give a quick little overview of what it's about, and then we're going to talk to our new friend Mike Dion.
Well, me and my best friend were in a
a hair metal band back in the 80s. And early on, we kind of left it for dead, but never kind of got it out of our system. And 30 years later, during a collective midlife crisis, we decided to ditch everything, the 401k, sold the house, and said, hey, why don't we try to be rock stars? We're almost 50 years old. Let's see if we can do that. That's a good idea. And so we decided to make a movie about it, and 5 years later, here we are, and we're getting ready to drop this thing.
Finally. I mean,
it's like being pregnant for 5 years, man. I would imagine that's what it's like.
There's been times where you were like, I don't know if this movie's going to get made. I spent all this money. I've got PV giving me all this gear. I've talked to all these people. We've got, just hours and hours of footage, but there's no money. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this done. I mean, I know I've seen you on Facebook asking people, you GoFundMe campaigns and trying to get people to buy in and get different, incentives to do so. How did you get Mike Dion on board?
Mike's been a longtime friend, and actually he used to be Steve's boss. So that's, we knew him before getting into this process. And Mike is a great filmmaker in his own right, and just dropped his 5th film. So we needed somebody. We needed somebody who had a better grip on
who knew what was going
the process. We've done it before, but not to the extent of what Mike's done. So we brought him on as a producer and also as a referee. And whatever the guy who works for the SWAT team who talks the guys off the ledges, that's him too. Yeah.
Well, because you and Steve were spending a lot of time together. A lot of time. And then, you got creative differences and you remember things a little differently. That's not the way it went, or that's not what I'm doing. And then Steve, he didn't continue to play guitar. He sort of had to relearn the instrument, right? So that was frustrating as well.
Yeah, I mean, everybody had their own hurdles going into this thing, and that was definitely his. And I think, for me personally was, how am I going to survive during this process? Because like I said, we got rid of everything. We sacrificed everything to do this. I mean, it was the stupidest thing anybody's ever done on the face of the earth in the history of man, but it needed to be done.
Do you have a wife? Do you guys have wives?
Obviously not.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. This is a pretty tough
They
sell.
had no lives. They had the ability to do this.
Yeah. I mean, my son, the minute he turned 18, I turned this up. That's when I left my job. And right when he turned 18, I'm like, see you, kid, you're on your own. It's time for daddy to go play. And
finish this dream of mine.
Yeah, and we had a lot of stop and starts where you were talking about where we didn't have the money, and then we did Kickstarter campaign, and then we spent that, and then we lucked into finding kind of like a super fan who had some money to spend and wanted to help us with the rest of the thing, and we did that, and once we broke it down into more consumable pieces, we started getting somewhere. We piecemealed it together, and then all of a sudden, in the last 18 months is when it really took off for us, and we were really able to get a lot of stuff done. So,
and Mike, besides being the referee, what's your role in all this at this point right now? Are you doing a lot of the publicity, or are you helping set it up with theaters?
Right now, more of the distribution. So now that the film is done and it's a real entity, so this is the 5th film that I've produced, and having since 2010 gone through the process of getting films into theaters and onto iTunes and Netflix and all of that.
So that's your expertise, and that's what you're bringing to the table.
It's definitely. But knowing Kyle and Steve from years ago, they say, hey, we've got an interview with Tesla. Can you come? Grab your camera and come. Run interviews for us. And so I've been helping them over the years, shoot interviews, shoot back up with them.
So you've worn a few hats in the production of this.
You got to wear, as independent filmmakers, you're wearing 15, 20 hats. You're the cameraman, you're the music supervisor, you're the editor, you're the production or the distribution manager. Yeah.
How did you get everybody to sign off on making the soundtrack?
Well, we had a lot of the guys that we interviewed who...
Let's go through that, too.
Okay.
Tell everybody who's on the soundtrack and who you talked to.
We've got 58 songs in the movie, which is quite a bit. We had, on one side, we had the band Keel, Ron Keel, who plays a huge part in this movie. We had the band Lillian Axe, some guys who were back from the Hair era, called Rocks King from Tampa. We've got music from some local acts in Tampa to kind of season it up during those segments. And then we got friendly with this reissue label out of Nashville called F&A Records. And we just went to them for one artist. And he's like, do you guys need more music? And I'm like, yeah. They sent us dozens and dozens and dozens of tracks to choose from. And we built the movie, and we edited the movie around this stuff. And it was killer music. And, so these are more bands that either didn't get a decent shot or just weren't as famous as other bands. Right. But it doesn't take away from the quality of the music. And what better way to underscore the film than by stuff directly from that era instead of having to go back and redo all that stuff ourselves. So again, it was happenstance, and then if we would have licensed all the music, we figured it would cost about $150,000 to do it proper, and we spent less than $2 million.
What a godsend, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, do we have that clip ready?
Yeah,
because
we do.
This is the first clip ever shown of the movie. Okay, this is
not a trailer. Yeah,
not a trailer, not a promotional item. Well, it is now.
Yeah, this is the actual open to the film.
All right, here we go. Here I go again.
Nope, that's the wrong one.
This the wrong one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the wrong one.
Fuck. That's all right.
Hey, that's all right, man. We're live and we're working out the bugs here on WorldViral.tv.
Is everybody involved in the project? Does everybody still have the hair? Because I'm obviously, I'm follically challenged, whatever you want to call it.
Your hair's got a lot longer since I met you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you got head of hair going on over there. I mean,
that was one of the things I made the commitment. If we're going to have that in the title, then one of us had better have it. And
Steve's losing his.
No, Steve has a shaved head. So yeah, and so yeah, I mean, it was kind of it was part of the process for me because it was almost like a rediscovery for me, and that's what this really has turned out to be.
Going back to it,
and it is awesome. I know the clip's coming up, but you'll see when you watch the film the progression of Kyle's hair over the 5 years, going from super short to this. It's pretty cool.
Right on. Here I go again. You'll be able to see the Denver film premiere at the Harkins Theater, Northfield 18. That's coming up on the 13th at 6:30, and you can go to Here I Go Again on Facebook to get more information. Let's watch the clip. Here we go.
Was Rock Super Bowl number 10. My first concert was Van Halen off the Van Halen Tune Tour. I have over 350 concert, band, rock and roll t-shirts in my collection. Yes, I've been Gene Simmons before for Halloween. Yes, the first song I learned on guitar was Smoke on the Water. Watch out for shit bombs. And I had a skunk named Nico, named after the drummer of Iron Maiden. In another life, I was a rock and roll musician.
So, you've had this band in the 80s?
Well, we were a band called Trix. TRYXX.
We wanted to open up for Motley Crue. That was our goal in life.
Did Trix ever get a taste of the rock star lives, or was it just you guys practicing some songs, fighting with each other for a little while, and then drinking cheap beer until you passed out?
We never really went anywhere. It was really a lot of potential. We were just out of high school. We just had a really cool band.
Oh, I thought it was Loverboy.
Almost like Loverboy or something. Loverboy.
Maybe a little bit too Loverboy. Along the lines of Loverboy or something like that.
You guys remind me of Loverboy.
Maybe a little Loverboy.
Kind of like a transvestite Loverboy. Do you remember that band Loverboy?
And then, you guys did break up or whatever the case.
Definitely in the long run, it was just about not wanting the same thing.
It's almost like we didn't really give it the full effort that it deserved from back then.
So you guys are going to put the band together, and you're going to do a gig.
And you guys are going to get together? Is that what's going on?
You're literally going to take your 5 guys that were in this band 25 years ago, and you guys want to do a show.
Are we reforming a band here?
There's a lot worse ways you could waste your time.
It depends on how bad you want it.
I don't think you guys got a chance in hell.
Something will just happen. You'll force it. Or you'll be homeless.
Or that.
Yeah, if you really want to do it, and if you can convince the other guys, but be realistic. Don't put too much on their plates. They may not be able to digest it all.
With the words of wisdom right there.
Yeah.
Go for it, but don't put too much on your plate so you can digest it.
Well, that was a great thing about talking to a lot of these rock stars from that era, is that they all brought something to the table. Frankie brought a lot of sensibility to it. And like Ron Keel brought the encouragement, and the guys from Warrant brought the levity. So it was a really great mix and match of
Anybody
what these
flat
guys-
out tell you that you were stupid and that it was a dumb idea and you should be doing?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, most of them thought we were crazy.
But that's what drove you.
Oh, yeah. It's like
We'll be sharing the stage. That's all I got to say there, buddy. I'm Kyle Kruger. Don't you fucking forget it.
I'm a guy. Guys do stupid things. I mean, we're driven by that, are we not?
But you got back together and you did just one show, or are you still doing shows?
We got another show booked. We did
Bullet in the Chamber is the name
Bullet
of the
in
band.
the Chamber is the name of the band now, yeah. And we, I don't want to give everything away, but you'll see the progression in the film, and there is a performance in there somewhere, but there's a whole lot more going on there. But it really it takes you through this 5-year set of hurdles, and the wins, the losses,
This film, it's a documentary, but it plays like almost a scripted film because you get to see real life of Kyle and Steve going through 5 years of a goal and ups and downs. So it's almost life plays like a scripted film to see their story, point A to point B against all odds. But all of the musicians that are in there have this nice sort of theme and thing that you can back up to from the industry and all of that. And I remember a couple of years ago, it's like you got an interview from Tesla, you got an interview from Queensryche, and it's interesting. It's like you guys are almost using this documentary as an excuse to get in with all these musicians and everything.
That's exactly what we used it for, to hang out backstage and go to shows for free. We leveraged ourselves at one point during the process where we had promoters of festivals flying us in so we would film at their shows. And you're
looking at Steve going, we made it.
We call that budget. I mean, there's money we're not spending, and we get to continue doing this thing. And that happened.
That's great.
Hey, it's happy accidents.
I think that a lot of the players from that era, feel until recently that they were forgotten. That they were, stuck on that fair circuit and nobody really cared about a lot of that hair rock. But, the resurgence in this market, I tell you, it's huge. I mean, I came in early 1990. I moved to Colorado, and there was this club called Bangles, and it was out of fucking control. I mean, the whole city of Glendale, Colorado, and I use that term city loosely. It's a square mile, but Shotgun Willie's, Mile High Saloon at Bangles, and before that, Mr. Lucky's. The place was a zoo. It was a fucking zoo. It was crazy, and when the Keystone Cop came in there to bust a big cocaine ring, it was out of control. The Glendale PD was in there running around, grabbing people up and down those stairs. You had 2 ways to go up, and that spiral staircase, they were chasing people down it and had everybody out in the parking lot, and all the titty bar girls would come over for the wet t-shirt
That's
contest.
the next movie, Mike. Next movie.
That's a real trip down memory lane you just took.
I'm telling you, man, Bangles was fucking out of control. Fucking Sunset had nothing on Bangles, nothing on that little short strip of Virginia Avenue, and how we would walk. We'd leave Bangles and go to Mile High Saloon and get fucked up, and then we'd go down to Shotgun Willie's and spend the rest of our money and get fucked up, and then walk back to Bangles after telling all the girls that's where we were going to be and see who'd show up. And that's, and whoever showed up won the prize.
But it's funny, and it's funny that you mentioned that, because Westward just yesterday dropped a story, and they interviewed us for it. They interviewed the guys over at Wolfpack Productions, Phil Sudbury's band,
right?
Grind
Mr.
Cat
Steak.
Grind,
Oh, Grind.
and
Right.
Mr. Steak. We were like kind of the 3 features in this article, and it was talking about just that, how Colorado is almost like seemingly this hotbed of this resurgence.
Yeah, and it stayed around. It didn't go away when Pearl Jam, when that whole Seattle scene came into, and it didn't go away when nu metal came around, and it didn't go away when rap metal came around. There's always been this underlying fanship for hair metal in this community.
Fierce.
Yeah,
like
seriously.
very much so. Like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Seattle. We're not going anywhere.
Yeah, well, there were a few bands that were on the cusp of getting signed to that genre of music, and then music changed, and they didn't, get that opportunity. So, but that's the way the world works, or whatever. But I'm just saying that it's really cool that you chose this market. You moved from Tampa, came here, and started building this story and creating this movie, and we're going to get to see it coming up on the 13th out at the theaters out there on Northfield. So that's at 6:30, and you can go to the website, or do you have a movie-specific website for the
HarryGoAgain.net, and you can get tickets there. They're only available in advance. And we're starting to move them, so if you're interested in seeing this, you definitely want to get that. We've also got an after event happening across the street at Brothers Bar and Grill right after.
All right.
They've rolled out the black carpet for us, and
Brothers Barbecue, those guys are the best.
Yeah. So we've got some cool stuff planned for the event. We're giving away some stuff, and hopefully we can pack the room because we're filming it too.
Right.
We're doing a Q&A, and we're going to film that. And
bonus
hopefully
features on the disc.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Hey, thanks for coming by again,
Thanks
Kyle.
for having me again, man.
I wanted to make sure that everybody, had the opportunity to know about this because it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a lot of fun, and he's. Like a lot of us, he moved here, but he's claiming Colorado, right? So come support a Colorado artist, why don't you? Well, Mike, you're from here, aren't you?
I've been here 16 years.
That's good enough. Whatever. All right, Mike's local too.
Whatever.
Mike's
native.
Native. You got kids?
I got 2 kids.
You got anchor babies. That's it. He's got Colorado anchor babies.
Yeah, exactly.
That'll work. That's Mike Dion and Kyle Kruger. Here I go again. Say hi to Steve, and we'll see you out at the premiere.
We'll do, man.
All
We'll see you then.
We'll take a quick break. We'll come back, and G-Man's going to come on the show. Thanks for being here. G's been sitting in the green room the whole fucking time. But we're going to gloat. We are going to gloat. Stick around for that. Hail Peyton.
Please do.
Give me one more loud one.
We got a budget here. We can buy another one.
Give me a nice loud one.
Punch it.
For sure.
Hey, you're watching WorldViral.tv. Bitch.
It's your Uncle Nasty.
Oh. People know who the fuck I am. You're watching WorldViral.tv, bitch.
Nice.
I think that was it, actually.
Colorado Harvest Company.
I-25, west of I-25 is about the line for them. And then through the river valley, it's awful, the Platte River Valley. I-25 where it dips down, like after you come going southbound, you go past Broadway and you go all the way down.
All the way down to
what, Yale? I'm talking over.
Yeah, I know.
Stupidest thing I've ever fucking seen, dude.
So that's sock puppet number 4.
How would that sock puppet sound, man?
I don't know.
Off the top.
No, I'm not going to go off the top. I'm going to live with the sock puppet for a while.
King, come on.
I'm going to go with the sock. I have to live.
Wait, did you have these in storage?
They've been in storage. They've changed since last I saw them.
He's got to stick his hand up them a few more times
I'm not the
before
same,
he can
honestly.
actually get the feel.
Hey, anybody you know really well, didn't you have to stick your hand up them once or twice before you figured out exactly what you know what I'm saying? We got stuff for it. It's coming.
And we're gonna cook food and smoke some weed and play some music and.
It's the Uncle Nasty Show.
Sock puppets
on World Viral TV.
World Viral.
Fuck you up. Just like that. Shut your fucking mouth. Okay.
Dude, what's going on over here? I heard somebody scream, so.
Oh, it was me.
Was it?
Hi, I'm on my rag.
Oh, bitch, get out the way. Get out the way, bitch, get out the way.
Hey, it's Pat Searcy down here at National Speaker and Sound on South Broadway. Come down and see us. We're now carrying Charvel, EVH gear, along with Mesa Boogie, Paul Reed Smith, Nash Guitars. Come check us out. Mention World Viral. Get 10% off.
Can you play guitar? Can you shred with the best? National Speaker and Sound wants you to show them what you've got. To win a $1,000 Paul Reed Smith electric guitar and a $1,000 Vox amp. Stop by National Speaker and Sound showroom and register for their solo guitar competition. It's free, there's no age limit, and the final will be judged by a celebrity guitarist. The fun starts Saturday, January 9th from 11 to 3 p.m. And if you're looking at new gear, everything is on sale at National Speaker and Sound. They'll even beat Guitar Center's prices. National Speaker and Sound, 1559 South Broadway, where the pros shop.
Roll the black.
You're on World Viral TV. Yeah. .tv.
Hey, it's Gina, Best Denver Psychic. Check it out, worldviral.tv, Saturdays at 2 o'clock. Every Saturday on worldviral.tv. Gina covers love, she covers finance, she covers romance.
Be there. We're going to hook a brother up.
worldviral.tv.
World Viral.
Tim Winger here for our client Roof Rehab. If you are looking for commercial or industrial roofing, look no further than Roof Rehab. They can satisfy all of your repair and installation needs. Roof Rehab has been satisfying customers with challenging roofing issues for over 20 years in Colorado's Front Range region. From rehabbing persistent damaged leaks to complete new roofing systems, Roof Rehab can handle any job, commercial or residential. Roof Rehab will please you with reliability, dependability, and the best cost-effective results. From flat roofing systems to metal roofing repair and complete roof replacements and installation, Roof Rehab is your go-to source for commercial and industrial roofing. Visit roofrehabonline.com for more information and check out a comprehensive list of what they can do for you. Call them at 720-436-2886. That's 720-436-2886. Is your roof out of control? Does it need an intervention? If so, it's time for Roof Rehab.
Motherfucking Roof Rehab.
World Viral.
Hack It or Axe It is our weekly segment where we play submitted songs and decide if the songs are appropriate for our station.
We really want your submissions because it'll go on our compilation album. The Denver scene is fucking badass and we want to be able to represent you and everybody through the nation. This is what happens when we like your music. We're gonna hack it.
Do the space effects. Okay, I like it. This is fun.
Yeah. I mean, it's totally different than anything we usually play. It's kind of a nice game.
Yeah. Sometimes the songs are just not appropriate for the show. It gets axed.
Whoa. That's not what I was expecting.
That's not at all.
Bright sky, but I looked down to the faint light beneath the trees.
So, if you want your song to be on our station, submit it to tim@worldviral.tv or chad@worldviral.tv.
Hack it or axe it. Send in your submissions.
World Viral.
Motel Minute. Motel Minute. Hi, Mom, I love you.
World Viral.
When everyone was saying he was done and ready for the Hall, there was a voice of reason that rang clear through the Rocky Mountains. The Uncle Nasty Show and G-Man told you he would be back, and he is.
I'm telling you, if Brock gets crushed this week against Pittsburgh, Peyton's going to play against Cincinnati. That's what's going to happen.
So that's your prediction. We're going to go.
And if not, I'm going to go live on a billboard again until they win the Super Bowl.
When it comes to NFL insider information, who do you trust? G-Man on the Uncle Nasty Show.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's pretty official.
That's right. We predicted it, man.
We did. We talked about it on the 17th of December. And you listen to all the sports talking heads in this market, and they're all saying, nobody could have seen this. Nobody was talking about how Peyton Manning was going to come back. And I tell you what, most importantly, the man that was probably talking about it in his head was John Elway, because the man experienced the exact same thing. Right?
Oh, yeah.
His second Super Bowl win, ladies and gentlemen, he was out for 6 games. Bubby Brister played those 6 games, won those 6 games. Elway comes back. He loses 2 out of 4 and then takes him to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and then Bubby got whacked out the next year.
Right.
Thank you, Bubby.
So,
what the hell?
Hey, here you go. Here's a nice parting gift.
Hey, Shanny. Just send him down the road, man.
Yeah.
Bubby's a hell of a nice guy. But, yeah, it's very similar. It's almost eerily similar that a guy who's a Hall of Famer, surefire, first ballot, Peyton Manning, he's going to Canton, and he can't play. He couldn't play. But we talked about this. Listen, I'd rather have an 80% Peyton Manning than almost anybody in the league, especially Brock. And I know there's a lot of Brock people out there, but the fact is that Brock couldn't have done what Peyton did against the San Diego Chargers. And that's put guys in the right position so they make the right plays. They had 5 turnovers in 6 series.
Right.
Come on, man. You can't do that. You do that against Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers, or Alex Smith in Kansas City, you're down 30 points and you are going home.
Okay, let's talk about that. Now that we've reached the playoffs, Kubiak said this morning that Peyton's going to be the guy.
Right.
All right, so we've got the divisional playoffs coming up in 2 weeks. We are favored to be the one-and-done team. We are most likely, according to the odds makers, to be one and done.
That's only
I think that's absurd.
Yeah, that's only because of Peyton Manning's record in the playoffs. That's it. I mean, they're going like, hey, Peyton Manning won 1 Super Bowl. He should have won 4. He goes to New England 4 times and gets knocked out of the playoffs. That's a bunch of crap. He didn't have a defense like this. Peyton Manning didn't have a defense when he was Indianapolis like this defense, the number 1 defense. That's number 1. Number 2 is you got some crazy wild card games this weekend. The early game is Kansas City. They're playing at Houston. They're going to win that game.
I think so.
And I think Pittsburgh can probably beat Cincinnati with basically a rookie quarterback. So you're going to have Pittsburgh and Kansas City, the 2 wild cards. Those are 2 teams that both beat Denver this year. And one of them's coming to Denver, and if it's Pittsburgh, they're the lower seed. They get a chance to for a rematch and revenge against Ben Roethlisberger and Brown and the rest of that crew.
And that's what I'm looking forward to. I think that happens. And who do you think is KC going to upset the Patriots when that game goes down? Because I'm pretty sure KC's going to beat Houston. I'm with you on that. Are they the team to beat the Patriots?
They could. I mean, they definitely have to run the football. They definitely have a flawless game. But here's the thing about New England. You saw what happened. New England lost to Miami the last week of the season.
Right.
Bill Belichick didn't play Tom Brady that last drive when they were down 14 or 10. He just said, no, I'm not going to get my quarterback injured when he already had a sprained ankle. Everybody's going to be healthy for New England by the time that rolls around.
And they got a lot of hurt personnel. On both sides of the ball.
Yeah, I know, but you're talking New England?
Yes.
Yeah, they're gonna be healthy. They'll be really healthy by the time that first divisional game rolls around.
And skip around here, I got to mention that health is a big part of what is going on with Peyton Manning, too.
Right.
Let me tell you, he hasn't been taking snaps, for 6 games, for 6.5 games. And he's had a great opportunity to get healthy. He's primed. He's ready. He hasn't been beat up through the whole season. This looks like a Broncos Super Bowl win to me. This is all the makings.
The one thing they can't do is what that team did against Baltimore 4 years ago now. And that is, don't underestimate a team that's a wild card team, because they've had to play at a high level for a long time, and that's either Kansas City or Pittsburgh. I mean, yeah, Cincinnati could win and Houston could win. I mean, the best case scenario is Houston wins, okay?
Yeah,
and Cincinnati, because that's what happens is Denver gets to host Houston. Okay, and Cincinnati goes up to New England. That's the best case scenario because Denver will blow out Houston. Okay, I'm just saying that. But we're going to look at either Pittsburgh or Kansas City. All I'm telling you is that, health is an issue, and the Broncos are as healthy as they're going to be going into that game.
I'm going to say it right here, okay? This is it. This is what's going to happen.
It's the best case scenario for the Super Bowl run.
Here's what's going to happen. KC is going to beat Houston.
Right.
The Steelers are going to beat Cincinnati.
Right.
The Steelers are coming here to lose to the Broncos.
Absolutely.
KC beats the Patriots and then has to come here for the AFC Championship game, and we get full redemption. Full redemption from those two teams, and we go on to win the Super Bowl. Who do you think from the NFC? Is it going to be the Cardinals or the Seahawks? Because I think the Panthers are done. I think that magic's over with.
I think Seattle is going to, they're the 6th seed. But they've been playing so good down the stretch. It's one of those things. Pete Carroll has those guys playing well. They're a badass effing defense, man. I'm not kidding you. That's as good a defense as there is in the league. And Russell Wilson can pound you. That guy's just too scary.
And the Cardinals are like street drugs. You don't know what you're getting.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you saw they got pounded the last week of the season by Seattle.
But then you're wondering
didn't want to get anybody hurt.
I didn't want to get anybody hurt. Do they do that on purpose? They don't want everybody. They're going to have to see them in the playoffs again. Are they trying to hide stuff? So
this is Arizona's best shot. I think what's going to happen is somebody's going to shut down Cam Newton. I'm not sure who's going to come out of that. It's crazy, but the NFC. I mean, you look at Minnesota and Seattle. That's going to be a great game. I just think that Green Bay is going to upset Washington, although they're favored. They're the higher seed or the lower seed, but I still think they're going to upset them.
Washington's awful.
Yeah, Washington. All you got to do is smack Kirk Cousins around.
NFC East
he starts whining.
A joke.
Yeah. So I mean, they just kind of, just barely made it into the playoffs, just like Houston did. I love the fact that Denver has the best road to the Super Bowl that they've had in 4 years. They're not going to mess up this opportunity because their defense is so much better this year than they were against when they lost to Baltimore.
Exactly.
They're not giving up 30 points.
And Kubiak is going to let his boy play.
Oh,
I think when he made that decision halftime against Cincinnati, he made the decision in his head that he's going to let Peyton Manning do what he does best.
Peyton freaking Manning is the deal. All right, Brock, nothing against Brock. He got us this far. He's going to get paid next year because he's a free agent. But the bottom line is you want the most experience going into the playoffs.
Right.
And Peyton Manning puts guys in the right position. He's going to make plays, man. It's going to be.
It's going to happen. I think he's healthy. He's had all those weeks to rest.
He's going to.
It's going. I'm telling you, we're going to win the Super Bowl.
Goddamn ball and play.
You can tell. You can send me those Facebook messages and tweet how stupid I am and I don't know anything. But I knew that Peyton would be back.
Well, listen, we said this, and I'm going to tell you one other thing about Peyton Manning. Guys play harder for him.
I think
they want to see him go out on top. Brock didn't get in anybody's face.
Philip Rivers shit a brick. Did you see his face when he saw Peyton Manning running out on the field?
I got to look at this
over
again.
there, and he was warming up, and he went 3 and out.
Oh, yeah. And the bottom line is Peyton went into that huddle and said, look, we're not fumbling, and hold on to the damn ball. And then they went right down the field and scored. They scored 20 points when he was in there. Boom. End of story. There wasn't even a question Gary Kubiak was going to start Peyton Manning in the playoffs. Not even a question.
Here we
go. And he's not going to get yanked.
No.
They're going to go on.
We're going to see some really good. I think we're going to see a bit more conservative Peyton, but we're going to see some really good Peyton Manning here in the playoffs.
Yeah, book your tickets. Super Bowl 50. How about the greatest quarterback in the history of the NFL? At Super Bowl 50, the golden moment, the golden anniversary.
Do it.
Levi's Stadium, Santa Clara, California.
Do it.
February 7th, 2016. Be there.
Just remember, when everybody else was saying that he was ready for the Hall and he should pack it up and retire, we were talking about him coming back. And that happens here on the Uncle Nasty Show, WorldViral.tv, and you're fucking right, I'm bragging about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
My boy G.
Yeah.
We'll be back next Thursday.
We're
Thank you so much
about it,
for spending your
mofos.
Thursday afternoon with us here on the Uncle Nasty Show, WorldViral.tv.
Hey, let's watch when you guys called it a couple weeks ago.
Sure,
before the
put
show,
it on
man.
again. That's a great way to go out, CT.
Have a good week.
See.
People jump on those bandwagons. I've been defending Peyton all along. It's not over, and that's the second subject of this conversation we're going to have is when he's coming back. They're saying, oh, it's Brock all the way to the end. I don't think so. I think Brock comes in, he does his job, he keeps, from losing games, he does the best he can. Things didn't work out so well with the Raiders. We move forward, but as soon as Peyton's healthy, we get him back in there, right, Chief?
Oh, absolutely. I'll tell you this about Osweiler, though. He did move the team. Listen, here's the two guys.
I think he's the future. I don't think he's a bad quarterback. I like him, but I don't think that Peyton is ready to be, kicked to the curb.
No, not at all. But I'm just going to tell you one thing about Osweiler. Hey, guess what, Demaryius Thomas? You're making $14 million this year. Catch the frickin' football.
Well, that's another
you can't catch a goal. I know, but I just wanted to say that you eliminate that, the drop at the end zone and a couple other drops he had, and the Vernon Davis fourth down, and we're not even talking about that. Brock's 4-0. Now that they lost to the lowly Raiders, all of a sudden all hell's breaking loose. Now, back to your point.
That game was not his fault.
No, it was not his fault, but, honestly, the defense didn't show up in the second half. So, let's move on to Peyton Manning. He practices this week. He's throwing the football. He's out there with the scout team. Can you imagine Peyton Manning, how bad he wants to come back? He's running the scout team. He's Ben Roethlisberger this week. That's what he's doing. He's standing over there. He's in the huddle like, hey, you get open and just run this pattern. I don't even know the Pittsburgh Steelers offense.
Wave your hand out there.
Hey, do the button hook. You're the bottle cap. Go over to the goalpost and take a right.
Slant.
So anyway, I'm telling you, if Brock gets crushed this week against Pittsburgh, Peyton's going to play against Cincinnati. That's what's going to happen.
So that's your prediction. We're going to go.
And if not, I'm going to go live on a billboard again until they win the Super Bowl.